Joey Logano is our third-place finisher in tonight's Sprint Unlimited at Daytona. Joey drove the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford for Penske Racing. And, Joey, talk about your first race, official race in the new Shell Pennzoil banner and driving a Ford, and just talk about how things went for you tonight.
Yeah, I thought it went pretty smooth. This Sprint Unlimited race was huge for our team to get a race under our belts. Had a new spotter with Tab out there and up there. And, for me and Todd Gordon to work together, a lot of big things could come out of this race. It's like I was thinking of it as a preseason football game. It's a preseason race that we can work some things out, and I feel like we did that. I would kind of second what Greg said. To be honest with you, I felt like both our cars were pretty equal, and we really just wouldn't make the move to go out there and do anything because I didn't feel like our cars were fast enough. But like you said, there was a select few cars that were very good out there and can do some things. But I did make a move there at the end. I did have enough speed that I went from, I think, 7th or so and had a good run, and they checked up a little bit. So I went to the bottom and was able to get the 3rd by the time we got the checkered flag. So once I was on the bottom, I knew I didn't have enough speed to get to the lead, and I was just hoping they'd wreck each other. And that's really about all I had. So overall, a good solid finish and a good way to start my career with the Shell Pennzoil guys over there. And I feel like we got a good list of things we can go over to help our 500 car. And I think our car's got good speed and qualifying for tomorrow, so I think we got a shot at the pole too. So we got some momentum on our side, and we're going to ride that out.
Good deal. Questions for Joey? Mark Long, you got one? Looked like you were cocked and loaded there. Guess not. Okay. Questions for Joey? Right over here. My man Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, Kicking the Tires. You did get out front just for a little bit there. Could you tell any difference at all? I mean, you were battling up there with a couple of the guys, not even for a whole lap though. But did you make anything out of it?
Yeah, I never quite got there because the one time I did make a move early in the race. I had a run, and I was joking earlier. I said I drove with momentum and not with my brain. And I went to try to make the move and try to get to the lead. While everyone was kind of freight training up against the wall. And I went for it, almost got there, did not get there, and went all the way to the back. So I said, okay, last time I do that. So I got back to 3rd, and I said, okay, that whole second segment, we rode 3rd place. And I said, all right, I'm not just right here, keep the track position, and then try to do something here at the end of this thing. So I feel like we did what we can do with the car we had. I feel like we can make some things a lot better with it, and we'll work on that. So I thought overall, our car handled decent. I could see some guys were having a handful, and we made some adjustments on our cars to make it better, but it really wasn't that big of a handful out there. So just like Greg said, though, it's just hard to get the huge run and enough to make sure you get by everybody was a real tricky part.
Hey, Ryan. And then to Mark, and then Bob.
So you're going to ask your question then? Okay. All right. Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. Joey, there was a wreck early in testing here that kind of precluded a lot of drafting. There was a wreck early yesterday that kind of prevented a lot of drafting, and then there was a wreck early in this race. Do you feel like you guys have learned a lot about drafting yet, given that for most of this race there are only 12 cars out there? Like, you guys haven't really got out there in practice or in testing or tonight with not even a full half the field type complement?
Yeah, I could tell in the beginning of the race we started off fairly conservative, and it's kind of running too wide, and you really can't make any ground up. When you're too wide, you need to really get something 3 wide and making some moves. And everyone's pretty conservative. And about towards the end of that run, everyone's tires are wearing a little bit. And everyone kind of got bored, I think, and wanted to start making things happen. And you could see it coming for sure. And you can see that both Gibbs cars were starting to go down the center. And I was like, all right, here we go. And I thought it was going to happen on the front straightaway, and it happened to turn 1. So it's just all of us finding our limit of, okay, how close can we get to each other? How hard can we drive these things before we lose control of them? And tonight really is the most grip we're going to have. That was the most we're going to get. It's really cool out. And that's, anything from here, it's just going to keep getting warmer, and we're racing in the daytime. So grip's going to go away, and handling will come in to be a factor a little bit more, which I think is a good thing. So we'll see what happens. You know, I know I had to catch it a few times, and I'm sure a lot of guys did too.
Let's go to Mark Long, and then to Bob, and then to David.
Yeah, Joey, your impressions of the car, and you were one of the few guys who thought there still might be some tandem. Have you changed your opinion after 75 laps?
I pushed on the back straightaway a few times and gave guys these huge runs, but I was doing it for different reasons to what I used to do it for. You know, I used to try to stay with them and we'll go to the front, and now I'm just, you know, trying to shove someone out and try to move up in the freight train. You know what I mean? And everyone was doing kind of the same thing, and you know, it's just different, you know, and I think we have to kind of figure it out. But kind of like Greg said, I didn't feel like my car was quite fast enough to go out and make those moves. So when I got to someone, I would just push them instead of trying to make the move. And yeah, I thought overall, I mean, the cars are they're good. I mean, I think they you know, they're cool. They look good. I think they put on a pretty good race. I think there might be some adjustments we may want to make to them to always make it better. You always, you know, you never stop improving, so you can always keep working on things like that. And but you know, we got what we got, and I think we'll put on a good 500 for you.
Let's go to Bob.
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. You talk about maybe having difficulty making moves, and yet both the wrecks seem to be guys who the wreck yesterday and the wreck today are guys who seem to misjudge how fast somebody was coming up next to them. Is there a certain time or where people are just getting a really good push, or are guys not expecting just people to be able to make the move, so they think they've got time to move?
I think we're just aggressive with the block because we know if we get shoved out of line, it's going to be really hard to get back up there. So we'll do everything we can do to protect what we got. And sometimes it's really, really close. And, you know, I think, everyone's kind of get back in the rhythm of it too. So I just think that's just product of us racing really close and being really aggressive and protecting what we got and making sure we don't get shuffled out.